Hello, welcome back to another episode of Two Dudes Drinking Beer. My name is Josh.
My name is Alec.
If you guys like what we're doing so far, please check out our website. It's twodudesdrinking.beer.
Just fuck up the website.
I don't know how I fucked that
We're going to
up.
get no traffic.
I did a whole ass promo.
Please visit our website, google.com. I mean shit.
I did a whole ass promo on Instagram, not fucking anything up. And here I go, live, fucking it all up. twodudesdrinking.beer. You'll be able to find literally anything there. It has our videos. It has a Spotify player. Fuck Apple Podcasts. There's a link to it, though.
Okay.
Spotify's the way to go, man, I think. I'm not going to hard press one platform, but...
You do you, man. I was just going to sit here and judge you in silence.
Okay. There's also, at the very, very bottom of the website, there's a little PayPal buy thing. If you want to give us money, you don't have to. You can if you'd like. It's at $1 at a time.
But you support our alcoholism, and we appreciate that.
Yes, the money sits in a PayPal account until we choose to spend it. Without further ado, I think we should get started. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. How was your weekend? Just fucking...
Good.
I'm playing hard.
Alrighty, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Playing hardball today.
Did you do anything cool?
Today is Monday, so yesterday I
Sunday.
What did I say?
No, you said today was Monday. So yesterday, and I was clarifying, Sunday.
Oh, I was like, did I say?
Oh, we need drinks.
Fuck.
Continue.
20. Yeah, I got mine right here. I barbecued with my roommates, and we had some steak. Ate some filet mignon and some macaroni salad because I like steak and macaroni salad combos.
Hold up. You cooked filet and paired it with macaroni salad?
Is that wrong?
Yes.
What?
I also don't recommend really grilling fillets. I recommend cooking them in a pan.
Do you just call it filet instead of filet mignon?
Yeah, it's implied with just
filet. You're so
filet.
bougie. What about a fish filet? What about a filet-o-fish?
If you confuse filet mignon for
Here,
a
let's
filet
get the
of
cheers
fish,
out of the way.
Then you're not very culinary.
Sure, but what's wrong about it? Why can't I eat macaroni with...
Because you're pairing something that's really high quality with something that is like...
It was really good macaroni salad.
Picnic food.
It is picnic
You don't
food.
have filet on a picnic.
Okay, but like I'm asking, what would you pair it with? Asparagus?
Yeah,
like anything to make my dick and pee smell. I'd like that.
Asparagus shouldn't make your dick smell.
En contraire.
Then you stop eating asparagus then.
Then I'm doing it wrong. I need to stop shoving it down my pants at the table.
What?
I'm doing it wrong.
Yes, you eat it through the butthole.
I do. Through the pee hole.
Yeah, maybe some asparagus. A nice, like a loaded mashed potato.
That's what they had.
Or
everyone else brought potatoes and shit and like some corn. I was there with like macaroni salad. Like a fucking child.
Nice.
It's the equivalent of going through a drive-thru, ordering a kid's meal and be like, but no pickles.
Yeah.
No pickles.
Because kids don't like pickles.
Because I don't want my pickles.
Real men just take them off.
Yeah, I'm not a real man.
Or just
no.
fucking real men just eat them.
I eat my pickles now.
Yeah.
I used to not. I honestly, until I was about 20, I ordered no pickles. I still order no pickles sometimes. I won't lie. Like if it doesn't sound good. But most of the time it's like I don't care. I
usually I'll eat them, but if it's like sticking and hanging out, I'll take it out and
yeah, I'm the same way with tomatoes. Like if I'm getting like a In-N-Out burger and there's like they always give you like 2 slices of tomato, I hate that. I just want 1 slice of tomato. But fuck me, right?
Yep.
If a tomato starts hanging out, for whatever reason, my brain goes, it must be removed.
Yep.
I can't have it hanging out. It's either going to be in the burger or off the burger. I don't do this halfway shit. It's not going to be the only thing I bite.
Yeah, I'll take the half-bitten pickles out and just drop it. It's like, okay, well, it wasn't meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I'll eat through it. I don't care. I eat almost anything and everything.
I know.
I am like a garbage disposal.
Yeah.
And like in middle school and parts of high school, I didn't really eat lunches. I would just scavenge. I would eat whatever
I was the same way.
other people didn't want or didn't eat. I'm like, hey, you gonna finish that?
On contrary, dude, I really liked school food.
Oh, school lunches were the best.
I love school lunches. Even like the burgers or like they did mini corn dogs. Those are my favorite. So what happened was I'd be hanging out with Rydell at lunch, and he'd give me his passcode because he had the passcode, and I'd go through there and I'd type in his number basically, and I'd get whatever I want, and he's just like, I just want the hash brown, or I just want like the one thing, and you can have the rest. And I was like, deal. And I'd always do that. And then one day the lady stops me and goes, hey, what's your name? And I'm like, Rydell. And she's like, spell it. And I'm like, I was best friends with him, so I'm like, I spelled it, first name, last name, no problem. And she's like, do you have an ID? And I was like, nah. And she's like, all right, well, you don't look like a Rydell.
That's racist.
I know.
First of all, lady.
Like, imagine if my name was Deshaun, and I was like using someone's passcode named Deshaun, and they're like, look, you don't look like you play enough basketball.
You look like you don't belong here.
Yeah, we don't serve your kind. What kind is that?
Do you want to keep your job, lady? Choose your next words very carefully.
But yeah, so I always did that, and like mini corn dogs were my favorite, and I liked school lunches, and nobody else did. But shout out to the school lunch gang. I see you.
I only had like school food at Westlake like twice.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when they made like fucking hot dogs.
I never got the hot dogs
for everyone who had like certain grades or some shit.
Do you ever have the barbecue? I'm like, I'm like enjoying this flashback. I'm like, do you ever have the barbecue pulled pork sandwiches they had? They had like some shitty barbecue.
When did they have those?
They had like, it was like basically like a McRib.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
It was so good. Anyway, go ahead.
But
I got nothing.
I never qualified to get the hot dogs themselves. Like I never earned them.
You had to earn hot dogs? What kind of school did you go to?
It was Westlake.
Oh.
You walk down that middle crosswalk between the two grass patches,
mm-hmm.
and they have like setups like all along.
Oh, those were like special things. Like
yeah, they gave out hot dogs for kids who had like certain grades or like something.
Yeah. It's like if you're part of ASG or whatever.
Yeah, I never qualified for those, but they always made too many.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you get the leftovers.
Always go at the end of lunch.
Same.
When they're packing it all up, and I was like, just fucking take like 3.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like, hey, you guys are gonna throw those away, right? And they're like, you're one of the poor kids, huh? Here you go. I'm like, yeah, thanks.
I'll just be eating them in my next class.
That's awesome.
It's like, where'd you get so many hot dogs? I'm like, I just fucking asked.
Oh, you didn't see? They were right in the quad.
Yeah. And those fucking shitty mini pep rallies they did at lunch, too.
The worst.
Fucking so bad.
Were you there for that guy's performance? He did a performance one time. He did a song called Fresh Down to My Socks.
That sounds super familiar.
They made the whole school watch as they put on a show in the not the quad. Is the quad the one with the high rise steps and seats? Because there's the quad, which is like with all the lockers by the stairs, and then there's like the place all the jocks ate lunch.
I would like.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
By the office, right there.
No, that's the quad.
Yeah, that's and then the other one in front of like the thick steps. Like
yeah.
It's like a half an amphitheater.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's where they did it.
By the cafeteria.
Yeah, and they set up a whole stage and speakers and everything, and they made this kid perform a song.
Sounds terrible.
It was called Fresh Down to My Socks. You better believe it was terrible.
They always are. The productions that the school put on were always the worst.
Well, I heard it was someone's son who worked with like Will Smith and Wiz Khalifa, and it was like a project they were working on.
Cool. Good for you, dude.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're any good.
I'm just saying, like, the parents definitely put that together and was like, let's get my son a song. And they did, and he performed it, and it was like, he had like the wireless head thing on because he was dancing and shit while he was performing. They went all out, bro. That had to have cost a couple $1,000s.
Probably. And that's like, Westlake got a lot of funding from parents.
All of it.
Yeah. the Carpenters basically paid for the entire Performing Arts Center. And
Really?
That whole...
Are we going live?
No. They just want me to come in.
But you can't today.
I can't today. I'm busy doing this. Target's calling me right now. Hello. I'm not going to answer. Because I'm in the middle of a show. And it's very unprofessional. And we don't cut. We don't do second takes. Except for that one time.
Well, yeah. That was different, though, because it fucked up.
It was scratched audio. Okay, regardless. But yeah, like the Carpenters, they paid for... Because they... I guess one point they redid like the whole... Like...
My freshman year, they were
fucking,
doing the whole theater.
Yeah. The Carpenters paid for that. They have their name on it.
It's a great name to be the one to pay for a brand new amphitheater.
Yep.
What do you guys do? We're carpenters.
Well, they were musicians.
Oh, really?
A music family. Like the Carpenters.
Makes sense.
Like I think it's John Carpenter. I don't know. But...
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean, you could put John in front of any name and I'd be like, that's probably him.
They were pretty famous musicians.
Really? Like classical, or did they co-produce Fresh Down to My Socks?
Probably.
I bet they did. Fucking banger, bro.
But I hate parents with money because they just fund like their kids'
success.
Shitty success. And like, I don't want to say that all the people who blew up on TikTok, their parents have money and they can just pay for ads.
But they definitely do, because if you look
happened.
at those videos, it's every kid in a fucking mansion.
Yeah.
Every kid like in a Ferrari that their parents bought them, and it's like, yo, would you ever buy your son or daughter
if I was affluent and I had a shit ton of money...
I think affluent and shit ton of money are different. Affluent is like mid-class, upper mid-class. Shit ton of money is like, I can fucking get your body hidden where no one can find you.
If I was affluent or had a shit ton of money, either or. If I had a lot of money, I'll just drop both of them. If I had a lot of money, go with a new term. I would buy my kids what they wanted.
No, I'm kidding.
What?
You buy some kids? It's called adoption.
It's like Dave Chappelle selling... he bought the kid in a stroller, no?
I love Dave Chappelle.
And then fucking Borat, or one of those movies, bought a kid for like a Game Boy or something. They traded.
Really?
I don't remember.
They must have made that deal with a kid, because I would have sold my brother for a Game Boy at the age of 12 for sure.
It was like I traded my son for a Game Boy. It's like, okay.
It's fucking... It had to have been like the really cool ones, like either the see-through ones or the very first Game Boy Color.
But if I had a lot of money, I would definitely buy my kids, like, if they asked for something, sure. Like, okay. As long as you're doing this, that, and the other thing. I'd also, like, try to parent them correctly in my eyes.
So you'd be like, I got you a Ferrari. I'm going to beat your ass.
I wouldn't spend gross amount of money on them like that. I wouldn't...
You wouldn't buy them a Ferrari?
In one purchase. I wouldn't be like, here's $300,000. Drive it for fun. You're 16.
Drive it for a month.
You're 16. You don't know how to drive. I'll get them like maybe like a BMW, something that's not $300,000.
But you will get them a nice car.
Maybe like 45. Sure. If I had a lot of money.
If you had $45,000 sitting around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like no payment. Just here's a whole ass car. It's yours.
And you pay for insurance and like, I need gas money, and you're like, here's gas money.
They could pay for their own gas.
But you got the insurance?
Yeah.
That's cool too. Like, it's like, I got everything, but unless you put gas in this motherfucker, it's not going anywhere.
Yep. Gas will go bad if you don't drive it.
You're very quickly going to find out that you need to find a way to... Then they're going to start just selling drugs. I sell weed to all my kids in my class.
Hey. As long as you don't get caught.
Yeah, man. Doctors are drug dealers, so...
Legal
my kid's
ones.
a doctor.
Legal ones. I left a voicemail. But yeah, so I hate all like those rich parents who fund their kids' success, and I wouldn't mind if TikTok did get banned, because I am not a fan of all like the dance trends.
Yeah.
And you just see
that makes someone famous.
Yeah. And you just see like,
I'm going to cut you off. I'm sorry. is it the creation of the dance that makes the person famous?
I hate the spread of it. How everyone fucking does it.
But is it like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, does it get famous because someone invents a new dance to a song? Or is it famous because it's like, it's
It gets popular because it's either a super catchy song and the dance kind of fits with it, or someone who is famous or has a lot of followers does this dance, and then it just becomes a trend. So everyone just copies it.
It's so crazy to me because, like, it used to be trends for us anyway in high school. It'd be like coning. It's like go through a drive-thru and grab the ice cream instead of the cone and drive away. It's funny. It was never recorded really or like posted anywhere, but it's like
planking.
Yeah. It's just like, let's just get people to look at us like we're freaks. And now it's just like, let's dance. Let's do the dance everyone's doing.
Because I've seen like kids that are like probably 5 to 11 doing these TikTok dances. Like there was this kid at his sister's wedding doing like the
flossing on the altar,
doing like the classy bougie ratchet dance, like he was doing that, and everyone was cheering him on. It's like, get it, girl. It's a little boy though, so it's but like,
he's fine, man. He's got time to decide, I suppose.
Remember when every kid was doing Fortnite dances in public?
Yeah, flossing.
I want to go back to that.
Because it's gotten worse, or because you enjoyed it?
I don't like Fortnite.
I was gonna say, because it wasn't a good time. I mean, it was a better time.
I'd rather have them do Fortnite dances than TikTok dances. I picked the lesser of two evils, in my opinion.
Okay, I see that.
I want to go back to a simpler time where all kids did was TikTok dance or Fortnite dance.
Any of those kids watching that right now is be like, he said TikTok, it's fine.
No, don't TikTok dance.
We caught you. It's recorded.
Fortnite dance only, please.
No TikTok dancing. Yeah, man, I miss the good old days.
And it's not even going to get banned. Fuck.
It's not? I thought it was.
Microsoft is probably going to buy it for like $5 million.
Hold up.
Which is not a lot of money.
Hold up. That's not a lot of money for Microsoft, but hold the fuck up. You're telling me the government was like, we're going to shut down TikTok because it's a national security threat. And Microsoft was like, okay.
We're going to buy you.
How about we give them $5 million?
They can continue to operate in the United States.
And we just fucking turn the other way.
Pretty much.
Is it? Are they going to like, they're not going to transfer the files from like China and be like, what do you have that you've data mined?
No, they won't. It's essentially like a marriage visa.
That's the perfect analogy.
It's the same.
That's the perfect analogy.
It'd be the exact same thing as that.
They're getting a mail order bride.
Yeah. So it's essentially saying, hey,
oh my God, they're buying.
Our parent company is from the US of A. We're allowed to operate there.
Damn. And Bill Gates is just going to be like, now I'm spying on all of America. Could you imagine if that was the case and China or Russia or whoever was like doing shit and then Trump just calls Microsoft. He's like, hey, Gates,
buy these.
I'll give you $5 million. Fucking chump change. Just go handle this. That's what that issue's worth to me. Go buy the problem.
Yep.
I've got a competing company. Go buy it. Yeah, they're probably just gonna do it and then what was the one they bought the social media and then just shut it down?
Vine.
What
Twitter
was that
bought
story?
Vine.
Twitter bought Vine and was just like,
yeah, and people
if they
were
shut it
fucking
down,
pissed.
If they didn't shut it down, there would be no TikTok, right? Because it'd just still be Vine.
Well, TikTok came from Musical.ly.
Music.ly.
Yeah. Musical with one L.ly. Where people will just lip sync to songs. It was just fucking kids too.
That sucks.
And then it turned into TikTok, but it's the same company. They just rebranded.
Oh. That's annoying.
Or TikTok bought Musical.ly. I don't know. I don't know the history behind it, but the two were the same at one point.
Wow.
I also fucking hate everyone making the memes like, oh, TikTok shutting down. All the famous TikTokers are gonna need to get real jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking no, they won't.
Mm-hmm.
They're
gonna go to the next app.
They're not even that. They don't have to. Their main revenue stream isn't from TikTok.
What's it from?
All the
brand
other
deals?
social medias.
Really?
How many followers does Addison Rae have? Last time fucking Junior was here, he
No
said
idea.
like 50 million.
Oh yeah.
That's just on TikTok.
Yeah.
They're all spread out.
That
all
just
have
means that
over millions of followers on all the other social media platforms that are not going away.
That just means the companies who hire them and the people who pay them for ads only see them as like billboards. It's the same thing of you having like a piece of land near a highway and someone's like, look, I'll build this billboard and I'll pay you monthly for it. And you're like, deal. I never put shit up on there. But now it's just like, you're 18, barely. You dance, people like to look at you. How about between dances, you promote fucking Stone IPA? What beer are we drinking today? We're doing this. We have no
We
format.
started very well. We're drinking a Stone IPA. It's a West Coast IPA. It's pretty good. Never had it before.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean,
Two dudes drinking dot beer.
and we're sponsored today by our motherfucking selves.
Yeah.
Also, thank you, Ryan, donating.
Yeah. I already thanked him in person. Not in person, but
I haven't thanked him in person, but now it's
via-
recorded on the podcast and
via
everyone
message.
knows. For the history of the show.
Yeah, you just put him on blast saying he gave us money.
He did. And I wanted to say, live, I appreciate you. And I appreciate the donation. Thank you.
Thanks for your support.
Thanks for your support.
I wouldn't call it donations. I would say thank you for your support.
Thank you for your support. This is brought to you by viewers like you and DJ Phantom.
For $1 a day,
You
can
can
help
feed-
a
You
child
can feed
in
two
need.
drunks. We only eat McChickens.
Yeah, they're like a fucking
We share a McChicken a day.
$1.20 now.
I know. That's the one thing that pissed me off. I remember working at McDonald's and they were like, we're raising prices because of taxes. And then,
Because fucking minimum wage went up.
but here's the thing though, it wasn't because of taxes. It was just them raising the prices. Because Jack in the Box, you get a chicken sandwich there for $1. It's still like $1.07 or whatever the tax was.
It's $1.29 or 39 now.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
But the prices went up because minimum wage went up.
Damn.
Back when it was $8 and it went up to $9. They're like, oh, fucking cheeseburgers now $1.50. Go fuck yourself.
It's not worth it. That's a weird thing, how it affects. Well, it's probably just a bunch of dudes crunching numbers.
Well, yeah, because you're going to spend, let's say you have 1,000 hours of labor for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're spending $1,000 more a week.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. A week.
Per store.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah.
makes sense. You're going to cover that cost some other way. Raise the price 15 cents each sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Get it back like that. That was a weak snap. Like that.
That's a good ass snap. That's a strong ass boy.
I'm not a lefty. But
You got some snapping hands.
that moment,
I can't even snap
that moment
that
you
loud.
realize a snap is just your finger hitting your palm, not the sound the actual rubbing makes.
I've never thought that.
I saw that once.
I
and
remember.
was like,
I remember.
True.
I remember being a kid and being like, "What makes that sound?" and looking at it, and I was doing that, and I was like, "Oh, you're basically charging up for a clap."
Yeah, you're building resistance, and then you're just pushing down.
I remember there was kids in middle school. They like lick their. Let me see if I could do this. They lick their little webbing of their finger,
That's how you eat pussy.
and then they take their middle finger, put it there, and then they pop it like that.
What the fuck? That sounds like those little.
And they got it to go fucking so loud. And they do it in class.
That
Sounds like a pop top, yeah.
Yeah, those are little rubber half domes that you invert and they just fly
A
up.
popper. Anyway, some kids are really good at it. You just lick it a little bit.
It sounds like you're dislocating your
hurts.
finger.
Yeah, but they get it. It sounds like a clap, like a real ass fucking. And it'd just be kids in the class doing it at random, like pa, pa, and the teachers would always get pissed off, like stop it. And then because nobody ever fucking, it was always super stealthy because you just put your hands like this and you just go. So no one ever got caught. But
I've never seen that. This is the first time I've ever seen or hearing of it.
my school was different.
Yeah, Arizona school is different. We had different things. Everyone's just staying in the shade because it's hot as balls at lunch.
Yeah.
No one's doing anything fun. School's overcrowded. Can't walk in the hallways
Why can't you walk in the hallways?
because the school's overcrowded. Getting into the next class was a pain in the ass.
Just crowd surf, dog.
No, I was tiny.
It's the perfect crowd surfing build.
I remember specifically one time, it was lunch. I was walking towards the parking lot, and this kid, I was a freshman, so immediately...
Hey, kid, I'm gonna stuff you in a locker.
Immediately older than me, was walking towards me. And, like, I have, like, the same kind of demeanor I have now, so I don't fucking care. So I'm just walking straight, not moving for anyone. This guy was doing the exact same thing, and we fucking collided.
This is what happens when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force.
Yeah, we bump shoulders, classic, like, we both, like, turn. I turn around to look at him, and he's still fucking going, so I lost. I lost that battle.
Yeah, you're not supposed to turn around and look.
He kept he was just full speed ahead.
He's like, he wasn't even looking for a fight. He just genuinely did not.
He was going from
give
point
a
A
fuck.
to point B.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn.
You weren't even on his fucking radar.
I commend you, sir.
It's like a submarine when it hits a whale. The submarine's not gonna stop.
Keep going. That train just left the fucking station. And
Damn, you did lose.
No turning back. I lost.
That is such a power move too, to like not only bump into somebody, but not even be like, watch where you're going. Just be like, fucking
yeah.
didn't matter.
Full whole shoulder to whole shoulder. We could have held hands in that moment too.
Y'all could have done the whole boom. You seen those memes?
No.
You not seeing those memes?
No.
It's like two dudes walking by and they bump into each other and they kiss.
Two dudes walking by and kissing.
Beer. Yeah. Anyway, at the bonfire I was at last night, I was talking with my roommate about like deep state stuff and government conspiracies, and we started talking about like how the Pentagon or whatever came out and was like, yo, we just want to re-clarify that when we say we found UFOs, we mean they weren't built on the planet Earth. Like, we're definitively saying that it's not from Earth. And he was like telling me about how Nazis and Nazi Germany were the first to build UFOs. And he shows me this picture of like a UFO, and it's got a big Nazi swastika. And I was like, could you imagine if the first thing that we sent into space was a fucking Nazi UFO?
Hell yeah, brother.
And then like we get contacted by aliens and they land and like, where's the Nazis? This is the symbol of the leader, right? And we're like, oh.
About that.
Exactly. It's like, oh,
you're a little too late, dog.
yeah, man, you really need to work on your Wi-Fi connectivity because
It's like 60 years too late.
yeah, that shit's not happening. We don't let that shit fly no more. Thanks for stopping by, though. There's a gift shop in NASA if you want to stop by. This postcard was stolen from Earth.
Fucking, I was browsing YouTube trending because I was that bored today.
You only browse YouTube trending when there's nothing else.
Yeah, I've gone through my Facebook feed, my Twitter feed, my Instagram feed like 4 times already. So like, let's see what's trending. And I guess, so SpaceX launched some astronauts into space. SpaceX.
Oh, I was going to say, that sounds kind of fun.
Elon Musk's space program launched astronauts into space, and they just came back down to Earth. And they're
like, what the fuck happened?
In their SpaceX rocket. So it's a pretty good step for them, I guess, if you're into space. And
pretty good step for mankind.
When you want to go to space in a private company.
Would you go to space?
Yeah, I would check it out.
I think I've asked you this before. If they were like, Josh, do you want to go to Mars and never come back and
Fuck yeah.
be one of the first people to colonize Mars?
Sweet release. You would die before you get there.
No, they're like, we have everything figured out. You're not gonna die.
Oh, then I'll go to Mars. Fuck yeah.
You just need because the idea is that you get there and you colonize it. So it's like you start planting plants and.
There's a game about that. I forgot what it's called. It's like gorilla something gorilla something.
Wow.
There's a game.
Wow.
Ryan, help me out.
Thanks. The more you know with
like
Josh.
Not gorilla like gorilla.
Gorilla as in guerrilla war.
Yeah. Well, I gotta look this up now.
Okay.
I can't. And I know exactly what I'm gonna type in my search bar.
Gorilla Mars video game.
Mars gorilla game.
What was the movie with Matt Damon about him being a botanist on Mars?
Red Faction Gorilla.
No, that's not it.
That was the game.
Oh.
I'll look that up too. Because
I remember seeing the movie posters and it only said "Bring Him Home," and I remember that. I remember being like, "That's the movie
Mars.
That's the movie's name, The Martian." But I only saw it advertised as "Bring Him Home," and I always thought the movie was called "Bring Him Home."
That came out 5 years ago.
Okay,
I'm just saying. 2020 feels like 2010. It's like
that happened 10 years ago.
Yeah, that doesn't feel like fucking One Direction broke up 10 years ago.
That's weird though too, because if
they didn't, that's a lie.
If I was thinking about this earlier, I was like, yo, when people post those pictures or memes of like this happened, like J. Cole's album dropped, 2014 Forest Hills Drive dropped 6 years ago.
That's one where he's sitting on the roof, yeah.
It is. They're like, do you feel old yet? And here's my exact thought process. I subtract 6 from my age. How old would I be if I subtract 6 from my age? 19?
You're 25?
I hope so, yeah.
Yes.
So I'd be 19. And I'm like, no, I don't feel old. Because, like, I don't count, like, anything. Oh, the speakers are on. Are we coming through the speakers? 2-2? Oh. I keep hearing echoes and shit.
I don't know. I can turn them off for you if you'd like.
No, I don't gotta worry about it. Are you hearing any echoes? Are you hearing anything coming through there?
I'm fucking hearing nothing.
All right. I keep hearing echoes. Maybe it's just the room. Wait, we need to get some more curtains or some foam.
It's already hot in here. Maybe in the wintertime.
Yeah, you're right. What the fuck was I saying?
Time and Forest Hills Drive came out 6 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
You don't feel old.
So basically when I was like 2010 right now, I was like, that happened 10 years ago. Do you feel old? I'd be like, no, because I'd be 15. Like...
That's still like a long fucking time ago.
Sure, but I don't count myself being a human before then. Like, because in my head, it's like until you like. Well, granted, I lived with my parents until I was 18, right? Mm-hmm. So I felt like I couldn't really like do anything. I had no real like freedom. I couldn't just like wake up and go. I couldn't stay out.
Sneak out past curfew to make videos.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I couldn't stay out past a certain time. So basically, I was like, that's not freedom. That's not me being a person or an individual. Sure, I was like... So
your life really started at 18?
I'd say so.
For sure.
So everything before that, I'm like, doesn't count. Don't count it. 18 to 25. I feel like I've been alive for what? What's the math on that? 18, 25, not even 10 years?
Well, 7.
7 years. I feel like I've been a person... for only 7 years, because school, everything before that, parents, I had no control over that shit. I started having control. So once you get control, that's when you become a human. That's when you're a thing, a person. Other than that, it's just like, obviously it's a little different from you because you can drink till 2 a.m. with us. But I never had that freedom.
Where were you when 9/11 happened?
I was in my living room in Arizona watching it with my mom on the news.
That was a long time ago.
I remember that.
That was 19 years ago.
I mean, I remember it. Here's the thing, though. It's like...
time is just such a weird fucking concept that, like, certain things where if you say, like, oh, that happened 8 years ago. Kind of recent. You throw, like, the 2-digit number. It's like, that's fucking a long time.
For me, it's weird though, because like when I was talking to my roommate last night, he's like 30, and like we're kind of the same person in a lot of ways, because like we talk about the same things, or like we talked about UFOs for like a good hour, and I love talking about UFOs. If I talked about UFOs with like my brother, he'd be like, fucking,
what kind of engines do they have?
Yeah, basically. It's like the age doesn't matter. It's like what kind of person you are, you know? So I think it's one of those things, like, you can't make me feel old for an album being released when I could talk to Ryan about it and be like, yeah, man, that's a great album. It's just we were a part of this thing that was really good and we liked it.
Yeah, I've had conversations with a 30-year-old before, and they're definitely, I can say they're probably the exact same conversations you've had with your 30-year-old.
My 30-year-old.
But my 30-year-old sucked. My 30-year-old was a 15-year-old.
And that's the thing, too, because people can be 30, 40, or 50. I've met everyone of that age group, and they're still just fucking stupid. I've sat down and talked to enough people at bars to know that there's going to be someone who's a sad drunk, guy or girl, just trying to get lit at the bar. And it's the saddest thing.
Hey, boy.
As soon as you pass, like, 40. I think once you pass 40, just buy a hooker and just start hiding bodies.
If you're past 40, stop going out.
Well, obviously,
just stop.
I'm not going to say you have to stop going out.
No one wants you there. No one
but
likes you there.
But maybe like a hotel bar instead. You know, somewhere where it's a little more...
Just drink at home.
Drink at home. Alone.
Invite friends over.
But that's my point.
Drink
like,
at home.
We've definitely met plenty of people and had conversations at bars with a plenty people.
Gus.
Gus the Bus. And, yeah, man, it's just one of those things, like, you meet these people and, like, they're still in their 20s mentally. They just never got that hookup from the bar, or they never got that thing they wanted. And now they're, like, 40, still trying to do it. Or, like, they just never resolved problems in their life or issues in their life. And they're still just that same person that you know, like, as a 20-year-old.
Well, someone once told me that
the world was gonna roll me.
Whatever age you are mentally is the age you're gonna be forever.
Yeah, that's a famous quote from some painter.
Yeah, I've never seen the quote. I just heard someone else tell it to me from someone else.
Because I got a kind of cool story. Is I was at a friend's house, Faith, and we were working on some music, and her grandpa came by.
The Mormon girl?
The Mormon girl.
I had classes with her.
Yeah. And her grandpa came by, and he was in World War II, and he starts telling some World War II stories.
They're the best.
And her mom were both like, Grandpa, nobody wants to hear that shit. Get out of here. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I don't want to hear that shit.
I was like, whoa, I kind of want to hear these stories. And he told me stories about, like, prisoners. Like, they had...
POWs?
Yeah, they had POWs, but he was a mechanic. So he worked with POWs. And they're like... He goes up to this guy, and he's like, hey, what's up? And he's like, perfect English. Hey, how's it going? And he's like, you don't... What? You speak English? And he's like, yeah, I don't speak Japanese or Chinese or whatever. I think it was Japanese.
Yes.
He's like, I don't speak Japanese at all. And he's like, what? He's like, I was born in Detroit. And his family went to Japan to visit, and then the war started.
Oh, that sucks.
And they fucking drafted him to the Japanese army. And they captured him. And then when they captured him, he was a POW in America, being born in Detroit. And this dude's like...
Hey, can y'all check my ID?
He goes... And he's like... I already knew he wanted to arm wrestle. And he's like, he beat my ass in arm wrestling. And we hung out, and we drunk, and I was friends with this POW during a world war. And I was like, yo, that's a great fucking story, dude.
That is. That's a really good story. I'd go to a commanding officer and be like, hey, this dude...
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing, is because it's like the orders. They're like, look, he was He was in the army. We captured him. Like, he's like, just be lucky we didn't kill you. Like, we're gonna hold on to you until later. But yeah, born in Detroit.
We're gonna treat you right.
Born in Detroit, flies to Japan to meet his family. War starts. They draft him into the Japanese military. The U.S. captures him and forces him to work on engines and be a mechanic for the army, for the military. I don't know if it was, I don't remember what branch, but basically he's telling me all these like really cool stories. And he sits down and then he starts telling me these quotes because her mom's showing me these like paintings and pictures and these like stories that she wrote in college, and they're all incredible, man. Like really, really good pieces of art. And I'm like loving all of it. And her mom tells me like, yeah, I modeled this one after this painter. And then the grandpa goes, yeah, and he drops some name of somebody, and they go, Grandpa, shut up. And I'm like, whoa, like, yo, like, let me hear this guy out. Because they just assume, like, I'm just getting my ear talked off. But, like, I'm interested in what he has to say. And he starts telling me about, like, there's this painter who bought all the rights and all the paintings of a dead painter. And it was a writer, and she gave this quote of, and she had a lot of amazing quotes. And I'm going to look it up right after this long-ass story. But the quote that really stuck with me was that you never age. You're born the age you are. I'm gonna look it up right now because I'm not doing any justice for it. And it was a really like transcending experience, like being shown all this really great art and told all these really great stories. And it was like a weird like, shut up, Grandpa. Like, no, I want to hear your war stories. I was super intrigued, and they all were like super cool. And then I was wearing my Adidas shirt where it says Adidas. And it's broken up into two columns. And he goes, what's Adidas mean? And I'm like, oh, it's Adidas. And he's like, oh, I thought it was Adidas because in French. And he starts telling me, like, he starts speaking in French. And he's like, yeah, I was stationed in France.
Shut up, Grandpa.
Yeah, it was like, he was like, I was stationed in France for a few years during the war. And I was like, tell me more, dude. He was like the coolest old dude with the stories. Like, Faith, if you're watching this, record your grandpa's stories because that shit is cool. And that's a podcast. I'd listen to that shit for sure.
World War II stories are the best, but so my ex-step grandpa, he lived to be about 103. Old as fuck, definitely was losing it at the end. But I had a project I had to do for history where I had to, I don't fucking remember exactly, but Nick and I were recording him and we were just asking him about his World War II stories and just like his service and whatnot. And he always told like the same stories. Like he had a dog in Japan, but he couldn't keep the dog, but the dog was really attached to him. And when he was on the ship and they were sailing away, the dog followed him into the ocean and kept swimming out to sea to be with my ex-step-grandpa. And the dog just...
God damn, dude.
Yeah. All my grandpa's stories were just fucking depressing.
That's so sad.
Like, the dog eventually just couldn't hang and died at sea trying to follow my grandpa. And so whenever he was telling that story, people were like, Grandpa, shut up. No one wants to hear your depressing shit anymore. But...
that's so sad.
That is super sad. And when we were recording him, he talked for like 45 minutes straight, like without stopping. And he was just, it looked like he wasn't even paying attention to anything. Like he was just looking out it's like
he's probably having flashbacks of seeing dogs drown
at a point on the wall. And like, he was just so focused and just like, he wasn't even there. Like he was just talking and going. And it's like, okay. At a certain point, I need to cut this off. At what point are we stopping him? Because he could talk forever.
Yeah, dude, they probably have a lot to say and a lot of trauma to deal with. I would love to go to an old folks home and talk war stories with people and just listen. I'm that kind of guy. Like, I want to have people, like, talk my ear off, especially if it's something like, I met this guy who was born in Detroit, drafted into the Japanese army while visiting his family, and we captured him in war. Bro, you get some crazy stories out of war.
You can, yeah.
It's insane. And I want to hear them all.
I don't think you'll get something as crazy as that, though.
I mean, probably not, but the fact that I got to hear it in person.
You're going to get an American-Japanese POW and a dog committing seppuku trying to swim in the ocean.
I mean, that's a sad story that'd be in like a movie or something. That's like some Old Yeller shit. Not Old Yeller, because obviously he gets put down. But
that's
like,
some fucking Hachi shit.
Yeah, like it's super sad. Fuck, man, I love dogs.
Yeah, you do.
So anytime there's a story about a dog dying, I'm like, oh.
Have you seen Hachi?
No.
Do you know what Hachi's about?
I thought it meant suicide in Japanese.
No, that's seppuku and harikiri. They're the same thing, though.
I'm glad you know that.
Yeah, it's actually in One Piece right now. One of the characters.
There it is.
One of the characters
there it
is
is.
styled after like a Japanese actor, or like the white face makeup.
Racist.
Nope, it's artistic, and it's also Japanese.
Triggered.
But it's like the yo sound
That's
effect.
racist.
It's the sound effect. It's the sound effect, and it's like the clickings, and it's like ding.
That's racist
And
too.
the drum beats. It's the fucking art style, man. That's what they do.
Oh, what were we?
You know what I'm talking about.
I know. I'm just
though.
giving you shit. We were watching Star Wars. I can't find the quote. I'm gonna have to find a way to get back to it until I find it. We were watching Star Wars.
Incomplete.
And Queen Amidala was in whiteface, and the entire time I'm like, "That's racist."
It doesn't exist in their culture, man.
I'm just
it's
saying.
different.
That's what I'm saying. Like in Star Wars, like that's just what. Like they wore wigs.
Yeah,
in the courtroom.
That's just Naboo.
That's just how it rolls. That's just the what's it called? Like the rules of engagement or like code of conduct, whatever you. That's just how they roll. Conditions. Yeah, terms and conditions need apply. This is really good water. I'm drinking Fiji. I'm still not
bougie
drinking alcohol because I'm waiting for some blood tests and other tests to come back. But yeah,
I can still drink.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hit the gas when I'm back, but as long as I'm healthy.
Oh shit!
As long as I'm healthy.
Here we go again. We're gonna go hard.
But
on the return,
I need to be healthy. I need the okay from the doc.
He's probably gonna tell you the same thing you told Raul.
What?
Don't drink too much. Lose weight.
Yeah. Well, he didn't tell me any of that. He just, when I talked to him, he's like, "You're probably just anxious. He's like, it's probably just panic attacks."
True.
And you know, I am an anxious person, but it's one of those things. It's like, really, like, you're just gonna say you're young and say it's a panic attack? Like, can we do anything? Because he saw the EKG and was like, "Yeah, that's totally normal." So we're just waiting on the blood work, and they're closed Saturday, Sunday, so it's going to be another few days probably, and then...
I mean, he can give you medicine to lower your blood pressure.
Nothing. They didn't even tell me about my blood pressure. They didn't report anything. They didn't say... They took my temperature, they took all my vital signs, and they usually will be like 130 over whatever, or 1 over whatever. That's not been happening the last few times I've been to the doctor. It's been like... Get in, get out. And I don't know if it's because I don't have insurance, which doesn't make sense because I'm paying you more money.
It doesn't matter. You just have to ask the right questions. Tell them the right things.
I feel like if I'm going in for chest pains and heart palpitations...
That could be literally anything.
But if my blood pressure's high, you should be like, "Hey, your blood pressure's a little high."
Okay, so imagine if I'm trying to ask you, "Hey, do you remember that one thing that one time?"
Yes.
How vague is that question?
Not vague enough. Go more vague. I remember.
You remember that one time with that one place with the thing, right?
And that person was involved.
Yeah. There's a million different things you can think of when I ask that.
Sure.
Imagine being a fucking doctor and saying, "Hey, I have a pain right here." And that's all they tell you. It's like, okay, well, I have nothing to go off of. Mm-hmm. So you have to be very specific in what you ask when you go to a general doctor. Unless you're going to a specialist.
I did. He was a cardiologist.
Exactly. Did you go to a cardiologist before?
No, and then they sent me to a cardiologist, and the cardiologist looked at everything and was like, "You're fine. It's probably anxiety." I don't want probably, though. I want, let's run a test, which we are.
That's why you need to be like, hey, no.
That's what happened. I was like, let's run tests. Because last time they were like, it's probably a pulled muscle. Do you exercise? No. You probably slept on it wrong. And it's like, every time I'm talking to the doctor, they're like, it's just super rare for someone in their 20s to have any heart issues. They're like, it would take 20 years. They say it takes 20 to 30 years of abusive drinking daily to fuck up your liver, and your liver gets fucked up before your heart gets fucked up. So they're like, it's probably not that.
Yeah, your heart's usually the last thing to go.
Yeah. They're like, it's probably not that. And I was like, but can we run tests? And he's like, okay, but if everything checks out, then you have to chalk it up to anxiety. And I was like, deal.
Exactly. So
that's a fucking deal.
You need to put your foot down when you go to the doctor.
And I did, but he's like, I don't want to run tests. I don't think you should run tests. He's like, you're young. I think you're stressed. And he didn't even say like, get active or lose weight. He was just like, I think you're just stressed. And it's like, sure, but like, I'm here to find out if it is stress or not. So in order to find out if it is, maybe run the tests.
You set the rules of engagement whenever you sit down in their office doctor chair.
Office doctor chair.
Yes.
Hello, welcome to office doctor chair.
Please state your name. Sign on the dotted line.
Yeah. Well,
I like going to the doctor. I saw my doctor at
I love going to I left
Target.
I left that place, and the doctors always feel so clean. The air is like definitely purified. It's just a good place to be.
Soft, clean, nice, warm, cool at the same time.
It's like dry and cool. That's what I like about it. It's like,
it's a very controlled environment.
Yes. It feels super sterile. I like that.
Yep. It's a good feeling. It's good ASMR.
I actually do like I watch Scrubs a lot, and not currently, but I've seen every episode a few times over. And my favorite is like when someone gets some like good news or bad news and it's just quiet, and you just hear like the doctors mumbling in the background, and you hear like the deep, deep, deep of the machines. Mm-hmm. I really like that. So for once, I agree, that is some good ASMR.
Not all ASMR is just people whispering in your ear.
What if you put on some headphones for ASMR that were doctor sounds, and you woke up and you're in the fucking hospital?
Then you got some fucking
issues
listening to do, boy.
Yeah. Give me my headphones. Why? I want to play bedroom noises. Oh, this guy's crazy. Send him to the psych ward.
How did I get here?
LSD treatments for you, baby boy.
Yeah, not all ASMR is just people whispering in your ear. It's just pleasant sounds.
I know, but what if that was like the key to teleport to like... If I was like panicking and I listened to hospital sounds and I woke up in the hospital, I'd be like, oh God, I just changed the entire dimension. And then I was like playing nature sounds, naturescapes, and there's like a little creek gargling in the background, and
a babbling brook.
That's the word. That's exactly the word I was looking for. That's awesome. There's a babbling brook in the background and some fire crackling over here, and I put those headphones on and I open my eyes and I'm on a camping trip all of a sudden.
Sounds like you should write a short story.
I've got ideas, man.
But specifically that one.
You think I could?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I need help with anything I do. So if I couldn't sit down and do that, I'd be the guy who's like talking, and then like you like write down like good ideas, and then like we storyboard it, and then we go in. I couldn't do all that by myself because it would get so fucking derailed. I would need someone to be like, this is how a story works. And I'm like, and then we're in space.
Well, that's why writers have editors.
I know, but I don't have an editor.
You just explained the whole process of having a writer with an editor.
I would write 3 pages, and you'd be like, I can't expand this. You're like, how?
I wouldn't be your writer. I'd be your editor.
You'd edit it, and you'd be like, I don't know how to make a guy teleporting with headphones.
You would spew out your word vomit, and then I'd be like, okay, let's organize
I would grab it, I would throw it on the ground, and you'd sweep it up and be like, okay, well, let's fucking see what comes together. I'm a goddamn mess when I get into a creative mode, man. I am a fucking mess.
How's that album?
So what I'm doing right now is
did export trick work?
No.
You tried something different?
I need to text Drew. I'm going to remember to text Drew. The export trick, it worked in a certain software, but I have uploaded samples, and it's going to take a few weeks for them to get approved and register or whatever. So we're going to see how that goes, and we'll see if it works. But until I see it on Apple and Spotify, I've got no idea what to expect.
For sure.
But
I mean, you could put it into iTunes and then play it through that. It'd be the same thing.
My computer won't download iTunes.
I have iTunes. Your fucking iMac or your Mac Mini won't have.
Can we try it here after the podcast? Because I have it on I have my album on the keychain.
After it's all right there, done, edited, and uploaded, it's the last thing I'll do. Sure.
And we still need to take pictures at night with your camera.
Yep.
Because I keep fucking off, and we don't write anything down, and it's just a garbled mess. Babbling brook.
Yes. We can do all of that later.
You know what's funny too is I feel like as I'm sober, I get more.
You're more aware.
Well, yeah, but more zany, more like.
You have more energy.
Yeah, but like
more. You still wake up super fucking late.
I woke up at like 10:30 today.
I was only woken up because some fucking asshole, probably a ricer, sped down the street in his loud ass car going 25. You need speed
bumps on this street. Dear government. We need
fucking speed bumps.
Dear government, speed bumps on this street.
Please. That would solve so many problems.
Facts.
People just cut down the street for no fucking reason.
Dude, a kid's gonna get hit, and I'm not afraid to sacrifice one at this point.
Doing 30 miles an hour, and their cars are just so fucking modded out that they're just loud for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. It's dangerous, though. Someone's gonna get hurt.
I don't care about that. I was asleep, and I was woken up.
I don't care about that. I want a fucking nap.
I was woken up in a shock. And like, what fucking time is it? Like, what? Like, where am I?
What's going on?
It was just so loud and so obnoxious. Because I sleep with my window open and a fan going.
Same.
Because I like to sleep in an icebox.
Because it's hot as fucking balls.
Not because it's hot. I like to sleep in an icebox. I like to sleep where I can't feel my arms and they're numb.
Do you realize how much anxiety that would give me?
I make both of my arms go numb.
I like it when it's cold, but I do not give myself strangers every night.
I make both of my arms numb when I wake up because I like the feeling. It's nice. It's cold. It's cool. It makes it feel like I don't have limbs. I'm just a torso.
You have a nugget fetish.
No, I still have legs.
You have a nugget. You want to be a nugget.
I still have legs. I found a really cool genre of music today on YouTube. Segways
are not your thing.
Are very much so my thing. So are you familiar with the 80s?
Like, was I there?
No, just, do you know about them?
Like all of them?
No.
Everyone knows the 80s, asshole. Flock of Seagulls. And I ran.
So I found a genre of music. It's called Synthwave.
I know Synthwave.
And I came across a whole bunch of different remixes, synthwave remixes, where they turn popular songs and new songs into 80s versions of them. Just by slowing them down a little bit and making all of it
super corny sounding synths.
Synthy. Yeah. Wow.
This might be the doctor.
Very
I need to answer this.
Yeah, sure, answer it, but you're gonna be live.
That's fine. Hello?
At least put it on speakerphone, man.
This is him.
Is that the fucking doctor?
September 22nd, 1994.
This is the fucking doctor. Or the IRS, either one.
Okay.
Hold up.
I'm sorry? No, let me get something to write it down with. Ugh. And you said the test is going to be on Friday?
There's a pen right by the left speaker. Well, I just got a call from the doctor, I guess.
Tomorrow's fine.
Sweet. So I like to bring this little break in the podcast to let you guys know. Please check out our website, twodudesdrinking.beer.
And that's the
We'll be right
website,
back
or the
after
one in Ventura?
a quick little break. Alex on the phone. I didn't answer my phone call, so I'm way more professional than he is.
Okay.
Mine could have been as important, but I think his
Okay.
is a little bit more important than mine, just because health comes before work always. Where we'll keep sending stuff in the group chat, and NFL needs to change their app so you don't get so many notifications.
805-486-1601.
Oof, the number's getting leaked, man.
Alright. And tomorrow at 1:45?
Tomorrow at 1:45. Be there or be square. So, this was a good beer. Not bad.
Sure.
Now I only have 3 napkins. He took one of my napkins to write his fucking details on when he could have just put the phone on speakerphone and used it as notes. But you know, not everyone thinks of that. Not everyone's as smart as me.
I'm in no rush, don't worry.
We're recording a live show, man. You're in a rush. You need to get back so we can talk about Synthwave.
Just talk about it.
So I came across, I was on YouTube, and I said earlier I was looking at trending because I was so fucking bored, but I wasn't on trending. How I got to Synthwave, I don't fucking remember. But so basically, you take a song, and they took they did Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way, and made it 80s. But granted, that's already 90s, and they made it 80s, and they made songs that were from the 80s, more 80s. It was the stereotypical, Stranger Things. Stranger Things music was super fucking 80s. And they just made it the stereotypical 80s. A lot of synthesizer. A lot of just vapor. If you guys remember Vaporwave. The very slow pinks, purples,
Okay.
dark colors. So Synthwave, it's actually super cool, super relaxing. It's a very nice little genre of music.
I gotta pee.
Okay. Just fucking
I'm already here.
ruin everything. Why not? Now he's going to the bathroom. So it's a one-man show. It's one dude drinking beer, one dude doing a podcast. It's me talking to myself. Oh, I can smell the barbecue downstairs. It smells so good. Granted, it's cooked in a crock pot, so it's not quite barbecue, but it's barbecue essence. It smells amazing. Raul, if you've made it this far, I don't say I apologize, but your video, yes, it does have more views, but also they are artificial, but they're also not, because I'm running an ad to promote the website. And if people click on it, they get taken to the website. But if they click on the video, that's up to them. So you may have more views than other people, than our other guests, but they are 100% real views. But the website traffic now is kind of artificial. So take that with a grain of salt, with you being the most popular video at the moment. I know you were asking me about that yesterday. Welcome back, sir. Was that good news or bad news? Tell the people what they need to hear.
It was news.
What kind of news? You left your napkin over there. Don't forget it.
I'm not gonna bring it over here, but
Just saying, don't forget it.
I won't. Basically, she called me saying that I needed to schedule the tests.
I already had the tests.
I've had 2 tests. I need 2 more. But basically, she said we could do tomorrow, and I was like, let's do it tomorrow. And then she said I need to do a follow-up in a month after that. So I basically get the tests. They're going to see what's up, and then I'm going to do a follow-up. That's it.
So you're not drinking for a whole nother month?
Well, if I get the test results back and they say I'm good, then I'll be like, all right, then it's just stress. And then I just need to do the follow-up to be like, I'm good. I don't even know if the follow-up is necessary.
Follow-ups are always necessary.
Are they?
Yeah.
But if I get the test done and they're like, you're good.
Well, it's to make sure the condition doesn't exist anymore. So if you do get, even if you are anxious and you still get these heart palpitations,
then it's like, here's some Xanax.
Yeah. They'll give you something and be like, hey, take this every so often or whenever you start to feel in a certain way. And that'll help you.
Yeah. That'd make me panic a lot more, I think. I'd be cranking Xanax every day.
Well, they won't give you fucking Xanax.
What would they give me?
Something else.
It's like aspirin. It's fucking... It's just sugar cubes. Good boy.
Just take some Tylenol.
Take some Tylenol.
That'll help.
Yeah. It wasn't good news. It wasn't bad news. It was just saying, come in tomorrow. We'll run the other 2 tests, and then let's make an appointment right now to follow up in a month, and we'll go from there.
Cool.
So, yeah, we'll see.
You excited?
I am. I'm super happy because, like you said earlier, it's one of those things I needed to just be like, yo, it's like, it's a thing that's been happening more than just like a pulled muscle, you know, or anxiety, I feel. So.
And it only took your friends to tell you that.
Well, it really kind of took Raul being like, I had a heart attack, and then it wasn't like a real heart attack, but it was like...
He had a pre-heart attack.
Yeah, basically. And if it's something that he can go through, it's something that I could go through, and I don't want to, you know, do that. So
Not me, I'm perfect.
clearly, you're one of the lucky ones, man.
I wouldn't say I'm lucky. I would say I'm just built stronger than all of you.
Well, I was reading an article last night because my anxiety wouldn't let me sleep until I did.
ASMR.
So basically, it was like about type A personalities and type B personalities.
I'm type C.
You're type C?
Yep.
I'm type A.
Good for you.
And it says people with type A personalities are more likely to have coronary heart disease.
Nice.
So immediately I'm like, that's me! So
What's type B? Also, what does that have to do with personalities?
it just says like, if you're type A, you're more active.
You are not active.
Not like active isn't like I like to work out. It's like you're active like in the mind, and like you stress out a lot. You panic a lot. Type B doesn't worry, doesn't sweat the small shit. Doesn't really care about the little things. Type A cares about the little things.
Loser.
Type A. Type B does not care about the little things. Are you type B or type C then?
Type C doesn't exist. That's why I said it.
Gotcha. So you're type B.
Yeah, I'm a pathfinder.
You're a psychopath.
I'm a trailblazer.
Nah. Anyway, Synthwave. Sorry for leaving you hanging for
Synthwave
so
is
long.
come and gone, man.
All right. Well, if not Synthwave, I'm not going to find that quote right this second, but I will look for it while we upload the video.
You can tell us on Wednesday,
I hope so.
if you remember.
We should have another special guest Wednesday. So hopefully that goes according to plan. Polane.
Ooh, warm. That tastes like caramel.
Is that good? You say caramel or caramel?
Caramel. There's 2 A's.
Caramel.
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 No, caramel. Caramel is the correct way.
Caramel apples.
Caramel apples, yeah.
I want a caramel apple.
Yes.
I want it right goddamn now.
Yes.
That's like saying
100%.
I'm pronouncing it well wrong.
We're wrong?
Well wrong. Because there's a W.
Yeah. It makes the w sound.
This is me obsessing over the small shit that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
That's going to give me a heart attack in my 30s.
You fucking loser.
I know. Whatever.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for listening so much. We didn't tell you to share or like the podcast, but, you know, we'll do that now. We plugged the website first. Doesn't matter. It's all the same shit.
As long as you visit, as long as you share.
Well, yeah, we're getting some decent traffic right now. I explained why earlier. You missed out. Doesn't matter. Thank you guys for being here so much. We'll see you again on Wednesday.
Thanks for hanging out with us.